Hello, people. Welcome back to another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs. I apologize for not recording last week. I had an interview and then I picked up my new cat all in the same day, and it was just so much that I didn't even remember to do the podcast, honestly, guys. The beauty of being busy in actual life, right? But yeah, that's what happened last week. So I do have a new kitty cat. He's super cute and tiny and mischievous, and I'm watching him right now do things he's not supposed to. So if you hear any crashing or crying, mostly crashing of things and things falling, that is him. He's making his way towards me right now. Okay, so how are you? What is up? Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast. If you hear him, that is him. What? I hope you guys have been well. I hope you guys have been dealing with the energy of this freaking planet right now. Well, hold on, let me bring him up. Hello, little cat. Okay. Recently, we just had, Neptune and Jupiter, both in their home planet, or in their home sign, for the first time in 166 years. It happens every 166 years. And they were both in Pisces. And that opened up, like, really intense energy. Mainly expansive energy. So it was a really good time to do your rituals and manifestations. But it was also, like, it was kind of like a look through, or like a sneak peek into the energy that you have been sort of cultivating in your mind and in your external reality. It was just like a enhancer of that. So I know some people, like, I'm in a group chat with the Epically Aligned Mastermind workshop that I was in towards the end of last year that I've told you guys about, with Catherine Zankina. And one of the girls in the group, like, she was so excited for, like, the day, like, oh, like, good energy or whatever. And then she freaking gets, like, okay, it's not funny, but she gets, like, robbed. Well, okay, she almost got robbed, but she got, like, punched in the face by a homeless guy. And almost robbed, like, he tried taking her purse and stuff. And then, like, somebody else was just, like, feeling super negative energy that day. And, like, I don't know. I think it depends on, like, I don't know what it depends on. Like, I don't know her. I don't know how she thinks, how she feels. So maybe that was, like, a direct reflection of that, of how she was feeling and thinking that day, or has been feeling or thinking that day. But for me personally, that day was, like, what was it? It was the day, not the day before. No, it was the day before yesterday. It was the day before yesterday. No, I think it was the day before yesterday. Okay, either way, get down. He's, like, keeps trying to go on our dining room table. Either way, it was a really good day for me. I mean, not that anything, like, crazy happened, but it felt really good. Like, when I woke up, I was just like, yes, this is good energy. Sorry if you hear me, like, clenching my teeth. It's because the cat is here and he keeps trying to jump on my desk or jump on the dining room table, so I'm trying to hold him still. But he's super cute. I wish he would meow in the microphone. Say meow. I wonder if you could hear him purring. Okay, he's not purring anymore. Never mind. So I wonder what happened with you guys. I wonder if that was a good day for you. I think it was August. Oh my God. April 12th to 13th or something like that. Get down. Oh my God. So yeah, that happened. That was crazy. And I think it, like, the energy leaked on into the next day. That's what I was reading from somebody. But other than that, what else happened? Let me think. What else is happening? Oh, well, also, like, I think I did tell you this, but my Jupiter is also in Pisces. Like, that's its home place when I was born. So this is, like, my super lucky year, I want to say. But it was also, I think maybe it was, like, more powerful for me because my Jupiter's in Pisces. So maybe that's why I felt like the good vibes, but I don't know, guys. You know, I'm not your astrology person. I'm trying to get somebody who is an astrology person to write for the writings of Natalia. So if you are an astrology person, or if you know somebody who creates content on astrology regularly, send them my way. I would love to share their content with my brand. But yeah, that is what happened. Other than that, today we're going to be talking about something that came up when I was talking to my friend a while ago. I wrote it down. And it kind of has to do with now, because I kind of made like a full circle back around. So I thought it would be a good topic to talk about. So we're going to be talking about like, I want to say like your fear in the future. Like your fear towards the future. And it doesn't have to be fear, but more of like your perspective. I want to say lower perspective, not lower, like one is higher. But you know, if you think of like a higher perspective, then it's like more of like a more rational perspective, or not even, but more of like a more perspective aligned with spirituality, your spirituality, or your like a spiritual perspective. I hate saying spiritual. I'm trying to think of another freaking way. But you know, like you know what I'm talking about, guys. I feel like, why do I have to explain myself? No, I really do have to explain myself, because I'm pretty sure like everybody's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. A higher perspective, like a perspective, a perspective that is more aligned with like source consciousness, you know? Like, how would God view this? Or I feel like God wouldn't view anything, but like Jesus, how would Jesus view it? Somebody who has like more of like a human nature. Yes, exactly. Like, what would Jesus do? You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Or what would Buddha do? I had a pin that said, what would Buddha do? But it's that. How would Buddha view this? How would Jesus view this? I see that as the higher perspective. So that's what we're talking about here. Like having not the higher perspective of your future, or the future in general. What? Cat? Hold on. He keeps trying to he wants to like climb up. Like he wants to be up at the same level as I am. But that involves being on the desk or the dining room table. Okay. Yeah, you can just lay here. That's fine. Okay. So we're going to be talking about that, but let me think if there is anything. Oh my God. See, anyways, if there's anything else that I need to say other than, no, we're going to be doing weekly episodes, guys. I apologize for last week. It was my fault. Okay. I completely forgot I had things to do. What else? Nothing. Okay, so before we go into it, let's just do a couple of ads and drop the theme song. All right, BRB.
ThirdEyeCyphs. ThirdEyeCyphs.
Okay, welcome back, guys. So I don't know how long this video, oh my God. And I noticed in the ad I said video, okay, guys? I mean freaking episode, podcast episode, audio, in this audio. But yes, I don't know how long it's gonna be because I do have to run soon. So I'm just gonna get the episode out there. Welcome to ThirdEyeCyphs, guys. I hope you are enjoying this so far, if anything. But okay, so this week, before we do that, quick shout out to The Writings of Natalia, my personal brand. You guys can check it out on Instagram at The Writings of Natalia, or you can go to thewritingsofnatalia.com. I just redid the entire website. It's super sick. If you are somebody who provides spiritual or personal development development content or know somebody who does, send them my way. I am looking for content creators to share their content with the brand on the Instagram and on the website. So it could be blog posts, it could be graphics, art, music, whatever it is, as long as it's revolved around spirituality or personal development. But it's a super sick brand. Oh, with that being said, guys, I shared a video on the website, within a blog post and on Instagram, about the future. And this is kind of, it ties into today's episode, about like the future of humanity and why they're pushing so hard to create AI and to merge AI with humanity. It's a very, like, I absolutely like believe it. But definitely check out that video. It is on the writingsofnatalia.com. If you go to the explore section and then you click on videos, it's the first video that comes up. It's under must sees. It's called The Cloak of Illuminati. So you could find it in the video section, in the explore section on the website, or it's also made into a blog post. So if you just go through the recent blog posts, the featured picture is like an AI and it says merging humanity with AI or something like that. That video is freaking crazy, guys. It's about 20 minutes long. Please take the time out to watch that video. It is literally, it's crazy. Okay, so just watch the video, and it's really showing what the hidden agenda is, for our consciousness when it comes to AI. Like, turning humans, like human flesh, right, into AI. That's why we've heard things like microchips. We've heard things about, like, mostly microchips, like putting microchips in us, but also like adding like artificial body parts and things. I mean, I know they do that with like injuries and stuff like that, but it's mostly about turning our human bodies more mechanical and turning us into smarter, faster, more intelligent beings, like more human, I guess you could say, even though that doesn't really make sense. But with doing that, it basically eradicates like our consciousness, like, or spirit, like the idea of spirituality in general. And that's kind of like the path they're putting us towards, because, like, I don't know, he says in the video that they're atheist. I don't believe that they're atheist. I think that they're and I don't want to say Satanist either, because Satanism is sort of its own thing. I mean, I feel like we could do an episode on Satanism, even though I don't think they consider themselves Satanists. I wouldn't either, because I don't know. I don't really know what they are. I think it's like their own thing. Like, I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, they're trying to push more like away from us wanting to be spiritual beings and learning about consciousness and learning about enlightenment and like our spirituality and our spiritual growth and chakras and all that good stuff, right? So it's crazy, guys. Just watch the video. It's literally one of the most recent posts on the website. So if you just go to the writingsofnatalia.com, it's one of the headlining posts, topics. I think it's like the second one or third one. It should be by now. So definitely check it out. It's crazy. Okay, so this ties into today's episode, because when I made that post, somebody that I know commented and said that, how do you even say that? Technocracy is our future, right? And he said, to be honest. And I thought, like, okay, in an aspect, yes, but only because we see it as that, or you see it as that, or we are on the route of creating that or allowing that. So then it made me remember a topic that came up on World War III coming, right? So much is happening, guys, right? We have this Ukrainian war happening right now against Russia, and people are saying that it's the beginning of World War III. In my opinion, I don't think so. I think it's a bunch of BS. A lot of people may disagree. A lot of people may agree. But we have to be open here, okay? And like open perspectives, open-minded, right? We can't close ourselves off to other perspectives, right? So I'm not closing myself off to the perspective that it could be the beginning of World War III. I understand that that's a perspective. From my personal perspective, I don't see it being the beginning of World War III. Knowing how much BS is put out by the media and by our governments, I just think it's another tactic to put us into fear and into thinking that this is going to be the beginning of World War III. I know that a lot of these countries and the government leaders, they talk amongst each other. It's not like, oh, we get all the like ins, right? Like, oh, this is happening. Like everything that they tell us on the news is what's happening. Like they're telling us it all, right? That's not the truth, okay? And I know that for a fact. I think you pretty much know that for a fact, right? We're not getting the whole thing, the whole side of it. They're only showing us and telling us what they want to. So this could be very played out. This could be very constructed. It could be very much a lie. I am not saying that the war is a lie, that the people dying out there is a lie, that the video footage that we're seeing is a lie. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that what they are telling us about what's happening out there and the future of what's going to happen out there is most likely not the whole story. And maybe it is planned. Maybe there's some sort of agenda happening and this is part of the agenda, right? Maybe they're not telling us that too. So just putting that out there. Anyways, perspective is what we're talking about. And fear. A lot of us are scared that we are going to go into World War III. Why? Because we've seen our family members go through world wars. They've told us about it. We've seen pictures. We've learned in history books in school, right? We don't want to go through another world war because that means it involves us, right? It might involve a draft where people are forced to go into war. It might involve people bombing our houses. Like us in America, like there's no bomb shelters here. Like we're freaking wide open space. And there's even like maps being leaked. Like if people were to bomb us, this is where they would bomb the most. And like people in those areas would be freaking out. Like what the hell? We're gonna get bombed. So there's a lot of uproar happening and a lot of fear-based information being spread and shared. And it's creating that fear-based energy. So I am going to throw out the phrase that I like saying the most, and that is you create your own reality. And I don't say this because like, oh yeah, you can manifest whatever you want, good vibes, good energy. Like that's not what the hell I'm talking about here, okay? You literally create your internal reality and you create your external reality. Your internal creates your external. The microcosm is the macrocosm, okay? Everything is energy. I don't want to have to, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, this is like an advanced topic. Go through the freaking other podcast episodes and look into how this universe is created through energy, how we create our thoughts, how we create the energy around us, how we create our own reality, because this is the basis of that. And I'm going to go deeper into that and why. The only reason why we'd go into World War III is because we would allow it. So, with that, our thoughts create our reality. Our internal creates our external, right? So, give me 1 second. If our thoughts create our reality, and again, I'm not saying this because like, oh, it sounds cool, right? Like, oh, we can create whatever we want. It's because the energy, like everything is energy, right? So our thoughts are our energy. And when we think something, or if we say something, or if we affirm something into our reality, like, yes, this is going to happen, like you are declaring it to be truth. By doing that, it creates a certain energy that gets put out into the universal energy. So it goes from like the internal energy and it goes into the outward energy, and then it starts to manifest itself. So if we have collective consciousness thinking the same exact thing, what do you think is going to happen? It's literally going to manifest itself into a bigger physical reality, right? You're so annoying. Okay. So anyways, this is why I'm saying that. If there's more than one person thinking this, especially multiple people, millions of people, hundreds of people doing that, what do you think is going to happen? Now, that's not the point that I'm trying to get at, right? That's just one aspect of it, okay? And I'm not just saying like, oh, just don't think that so it doesn't happen. Like, it's way more beyond that, okay? Your personal, your individual thoughts create your individual reality. This is another thing. Each of us are experiencing our own reality. There is no one person living the same reality, okay? And this is where the multiverse, the multidimensional verse, comes into play, right? We are in not a universe, but a multiverse, okay? For every reality, and I did an episode on this too, guys, so check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Every individual person, every individual reality, every individual person, every individual reality is a separate dimension, okay? Now we say like, oh, let's go to the 5D, let's go to the 4D. Like, yes, that's like the collective dimension, I want to say. And I can't really say that like that's different from our individual reality because I don't know that. But what I do know is that no matter what happens, like what's happening on the outside, you can control by controlling your internal reality, because your thoughts create your reality. So if you personally are thinking, and this is why I always say, like, don't put that into my reality. If somebody says something to me, like, don't put that into my reality, don't put that thought into my reality, because that's in your reality, right? So like, if somebody absolutely truly believes that World War III is going to happen, or the like technocracy is going to happen, right, in the future, if you absolutely believe that, if you affirm that into your life, if you declare that into your life, most likely, and even if it doesn't manifest into physical form in your reality, Alexa, stop. Sorry. Even if it doesn't manifest into full form, you're going to be living in fear if that is something that you're scared of. And you may feel that you're already living in it because you are creating that for yourself. But it's also more likely to take physical form in your reality if you are putting yourself in that reality. And this is why I say, don't put me in that reality. Because from my personal perspective, I don't think that this is going to happen. I'm sorry for all the noises in the background, guys. I'm literally in my freaking kitchen, dining room where my desk is. I have like this open window. I have cats. I have Alexa. I have my boyfriend walking in. So, yes. And then, anyways. So, I don't even know I freaking lost my train of thought. If you are fearful of this being in your reality, this isn't even the main idea that I'm trying to get across, right? What I'm trying to get across is that if you are having these fear-based thoughts, if you're scared that this is what the future is gonna happen in the future, if you think that World War III is gonna happen, if you think that you're gonna end up poor, if you think that you're gonna end up losing everything, or like just some very drastic future, if you feel that any of that is gonna happen, and this means that you're like a little scared, like, oh man, like World War III is gonna happen, or like, oh man, the government's gonna take over, blah blah blah, like if you have any of these thoughts that are fear-based, because they are fear-based thoughts, like nobody wants to have World War III, right? Nobody wants for like technology to freaking take over humanity, right? Or I mean, some people do, but I'm saying if you are the person who doesn't want that to happen, but you feel is going to happen in your future, that is a fear-based thought, because most likely you don't want it to happen, right? You're scared of that to happen. You're fearful that it will happen, but you're seeing it going to happen, right? not only are you creating more fear for yourself, you're creating more fear in the collective consciousness, but this also shows that you aren't trustworthy of your path or in God, right? So I'm gonna put both your path and God hand in hand, because your path is provided to you by God. And when I say God, I mean source consciousness, unity consciousness, source, the universe, right? In any freaking form that you want to speak of God, right? Your path is given to you by God, right? I mean, you create your path to an aspect, but you co-create it, right? Your path, your life is given to you by God, right? So by having fear of your future, of that being your future, that is a direct representation or reflection of you not having trust in your path or in God. So like, if you're thinking like, oh my God, we're all gonna die, this is gonna happen, this is terrible, blah, 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 then you're not trusting that your own personal path. Like, I don't know what you feel like your personal path is. Maybe you haven't found it yet. Maybe you're still looking for it, right? But most likely, like, whatever it may be, there is like nothing to fear. Like, there's never anything to fear, okay? Fear is an illusion that is being created, right? So when you fall into fear-based ideas, this is something that is created by us or by like our governments or like whoever it may be. It's created, right? That's not the natural, it's not the natural feeling. It's not the natural way, right? The natural way or the natural energy is love, because that's what God is, right? The energy of love. And you could say, how do you know that? And I want to say, look at freaking snow, right? Look at sacred geometry, right? All of the patterns and manifestations that are within the DNA of like this universe, right? It's in nature, it's in the human body, it's by mathematical order, but it's very structured and it's very like beautiful. I don't know how to say it. Like snow, if somebody, I forgot who, I think it was a Japanese like scientist or something, but he did a test with water. I forgot what the hell this test is called. I used to know the name of it, but you could look it up, like the water, I don't know, freaking water test, or like water and thoughts test. He froze water, right? And he put like words underneath the water while they froze. So he put like love, happy, success, compassion, caring, sharing, like, I don't know, like happy words, right, with the water. And then he put negative words with like another batch of water. He was like ugly, kill, murder, evil, like, I don't know, whatever evil words, right? And the way that they froze, the structure was very different. The ones that were happy were very like crystalline structure, like beautiful, looks like snowflake, if you know what a snowflake up close looks like, right? And then the negative words were very like unorganized, like dismantled. There was no structure to it. It was just kind of like chaos in some sort of way. So this shows that all those happy words, that crystalline structure, is what most, or I mean, I want to say all of nature is made up of, this like natural universe, right? So that's how I say this freaking universe is love, right? Because everything is made out of that energy, right? That structure. So fear, if everything is made out of love in this universe, and that is the natural way, fear is something that is created. It is something that we as man have created. And it's an idea, an illusion that is being pushed by what? Ego. And now somebody just DM'd me, asking, what do you mean by fear is an illusion given by ego? And this is all it all ties in together right now, guys. And what I mean by that is that, okay, ego can be thought of in many ways, but in this sense, we can think of ego as being the opposite of higher perspective, right? Ego is the part of us that wants to just keep us safe, right? That is what ego is in a more medical sort of sense. Ego is what keeps us safe. It protects us. It protects our mind. It protects our body. It makes us fear things to protect our survival, right? So when we're scared to, like, let's say, like, we want to go on a roller coaster, but we're super scared. That's actually ego protecting us from freaking dying, because we think, like, dude, we can die on this roller coaster. So ego's like, no, you're scared. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to fall. And it gives you all of these things, even though most likely you're not going to freaking die, because people go on roller coasters all the time. But your ego is protecting you from, oh my God, this cat is like climbing on me, from dying, basically. So fear is an illusion given by ego. That is what I mean when I say that. So, with fear being an illusion given to protect our livelihoods, fear is something that is pushed onto us. And we are constantly being told that there is something to fear. We are constantly being showed that there's something to fear. If it's not a virus, it's freaking riots. If it's not riots, it's a freaking war. If it's not a war, it's like racism or like whatever the hell. Like, it's something. There's always something to fear. Have you noticed that? There's always something that they're pushing. And that's why on the news, most of the time on the news, it's negative things like, this just in, somebody murdered down the street. Like, they don't tell you like, oh, another person down the street just freaking like was the first person in their family to go to college. I don't know, whatever like a successful story would be, or a happy story, right? They put like 1 out of 100, like one good story within 10 terrible stories on the news, I swear, like literally. And that is what's being advertised, because that is what they want us to think, is that, oh, there's only like mostly things to fear in this freaking reality. So we got to be careful, because there's always something to fear that's gonna freaking end our lives, right? So with that being said, when more fear is created, it creates more fear in the collective consciousness. It makes us think that there are things to fear. It puts us in survival mode. It brings us to our root chakra, which is the survival chakra. It makes us think that there is no higher perspective, that there is only things to fear, that there's only things that are made and are here that we need to protect our freaking lives from. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So, when your view of the future, your perspective of your future, your personal future, is based on fear, or you're fearful of the outcome of things, this is a direct reflection of your lack of faith in your path. That must mean that you believe you were put on this planet to experience whatever it is that you may be seeing as your future. So like, say you have a passion for, like, I don't know, being a freaking musician, right? You want to be a musician, right? And you're like, yes, this is my path. I'm meant to be a freaking musician. Like, yes. I don't know. That's my perspective of wanting to be a musician. And then this freaking crap happens, right? Oh my God, I have my freaking cats everywhere. What is this? This is my reality now. My Haku's literally like on my freaking desk. I have Kino like crawling all on me. Haku thinks she can get away with so much right now because like Kino's getting away with it, and Kino just doesn't know the rules yet. So anyways, you want to be a musician, right? And then this freaking happens, like, oh, World War III, blah blah. Haku, don't even like all this freaking bad stuff, right? Bad stuff, whatever you may see that as. And then suddenly you're like, oh man, like World War III is gonna happen, like this is gonna happen, like that, like blah blah blah. But like, what happened to you being like your path being a musician? You think that you were born into this reality to be a musician in World War III? Like, what the hell even is that? And I mean, like, not to say that that doesn't exist, because I'm pretty sure during the last World Wars they were freaking musicians anyways. So, like, maybe so. But if that's the case, then, like, you were meant to be a musician in World War III. And, like, even if it does happen, this is another thing. Even if World War III does happen, or technocracy happens, or whatever it is that you may think freaking happens, another pandemic and we all die, there is literally nothing to fear. Like, what, you're scared of death? Like, that is something you gotta work on, because okay, a lot of people, yes, we're scared of death, but why are we scared of death? Because we don't know what comes after death. We're scared of the unknown, and that is another illusion, because how do you not know, or like, how do you know that what is on the other side of death isn't something that's scary? How do you know that your death isn't going to be painful? Like, I just don't see death as something to fear, even though it is, like, it's scary to think that you're gonna not be living, like, not live this reality. Like, it's just an unknown concept, so it's something that we associate with fear. But okay, so even if that does happen, right, like, it all, I think that comes down to, like, if you're scared of death, but at the same time, like, if you're meant to be a musician in World War III, do you not trust that path? Like, are you not, like, why would you, like, if you trust that being your path, if you know, like, okay, like, if this is what's gonna happen, like, if it seems inevitable, like, World War III is gonna happen, and I'm a musician, like, then it must be my path to be, like, a musician in World War III. Then, do you put your faith in that path? Do you put your faith in being a musician during that sort of time, right? Or a painter, or a freaking accountant, whatever it is you feel like your path may be. There, if that's the case, then there is nothing to fear about it, right? You have to put your faith in what your path is. I personally do not think this is gonna happen. I think it's all a bunch of BS, despite what is being shown, despite the history that is happening or has been happening. But my own personal path, like, it doesn't involve that. So then we're gonna go back to, like, parallel realities and multiverse, because when you think about multiverse and you think about parallel realities, there is a reality for every single outcome. So there is a reality where World War III does happen. There's a reality where World War III doesn't happen. And there's millions and infinite realities of everything in between, where it does happen and this happens, where it doesn't happen and that happens, like a mix match of everything. There's a reality for every single thing that you can think of, or concept, right? These realities, and this is what quantum leaping is. I mean, that's what we consider quantum leaping. That isn't technically what quantum leaping is, but this is what it means to jump through parallel realities by attuning your frequency to the reality that you want to live. And this is where manifestation comes into play. Because all these realities exist within different planes, you can move yourself through these planes by attuning your frequency to them. So if you're attuning your frequency, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions to the vibration of the reality of where that outcome is happening, you are going to be in that parallel reality. I personally do not see that in my reality. I clearly see what I intend, and I notice where I say I intend, because I am attuning my own frequency to the reality that I do want to live, that some of my thoughts, actions, feelings, to the reality that I do want to live, and I'm going to live in the parallel reality where that exists. It's not going to be in the one where people are scared that this and that is going to happen, right? Because I just don't live there. Like, I'm not attuning myself to that. But you can, if you see somebody else, and that might be like another thing too, where you see like one person on a completely different frequency, and you're on a completely different frequency. Everything that you see in your outer reality, that is all within your reality. So even though you see people fearful of things, yes, they're going to be living their own parallel reality, but like, it's already split. Like, whatever reality you're in and you're seeing, like, you're seeing them, they're in your reality, just sort of like living out their reality in another reality. It's kind of gets confusing, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you understand what I'm talking about, okay? And that's why I said it gets a little freaking advanced, because it sounds confusing, but if you understand, then you understand. So that was it. That was the topic. yeah, that was pretty much it. So conclusion of this, if you are fearful of the outcome of your future, whatever it may be, and this could go to poverty mindset, scarcity mindset, this could go to the war, this could go to, what the hell did I just say, like technology taking over, this could go to like a dictatorship or a monarchy, whatever it is that you think that the outcome of your future is going to be, or the collective consciousness is the future, or reality, right? Your fear in that is a direct reflection of your lack of faith in your own personal path and in God. And when you don't trust the universe, when you don't trust your own personal path, when you don't trust that you are here for a reason to live out certain circumstances and situations and realities, then that is where the fear comes in. So to avoid this, you need to fully trust that you are here for a reason and that you are meant to live out your purpose no matter what is happening in the external reality. You can go even further by controlling your freaking reality, guys. This is not a joke. I'm not saying this because good vibes, right? You can control your freaking reality. So if you want to be in a reality where that shit doesn't happen, then put yourself in that reality. And I can help you with that. If you are interested in doing coaching courses with me, I do personal one-on-one coaching, and I can flip your shit, guys, all right? So don't put yourself in that reality, guys. Things are going to be freaking fine. I mean, if you're listening to this, then you're in your own reality, right? Each of you individually are in your own reality. Put yourself in the reality that you want to live, no matter what is being shown in the external. That's another thing, right? If it's constantly being shown in the external, like this is gonna happen, and you keep hearing like this is gonna happen, you're going to start thinking and feeling like it is going to happen. Therefore, you're putting yourself in that reality. Does this make sense now? They are showing this to us and advertising it, and it's being very pushed and advertised because they want us to think that this is our future. And by doing that, if you think it and truly feel that and declare that into your life, then that is the reality you are going to be putting yourself in. So I say, F all that. I think it's a freaking lie, and that's why I don't listen to any of that. When you do that, then you will put yourself in your most ideal reality. Live your freaking dream life. Create your freaking dream life, guys. You are a divine being in a physical vessel, and this reality is yours. You create it. You do what the hell you want to do. And even if some crazy stuff does happen, have trust and faith in the universe and in your path, that you are here for a reason and you are meant to learn the lessons you are meant to learn. And death is nothing to be scared about, okay? Because that only means that you're going to merge with the one, with the singularity. And that seems pretty cool to me. I mean, I want to see what happens after death. Not that I'm going to go off myself, but I'm very interested to know what happens after this physical reality. Okay, so that is it for this episode this week. I will meet you guys here back next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. It's Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this planet Earth. And you can follow my brand at The Writings of Natalia on Instagram. You could also check it out at thewritingsofnatalia.com. And yeah, I will be having more YouTube video posted, guys. I'm sorry for the delay. I have so many videos that I need to edit, and they will be up soon, so check those out. My YouTube is also Natalia of Earth, and then but definitely check out The Writings of Natalia. I'm putting out a lot of cool content, so check that out. Informational, guys. Watch that video I was telling you about the merging of humanity and AI. You can watch it on thewritingsofnatalia.com. The guy who did it, his name's William Henry. It's really good stuff. So check that out. I love you. I will be back here next week, and let me know what you think of this episode. Okay, bye.
Hari Om. This episode has been brought to you by the writings of Natalia.com. Jai Ma.